And I think it was just one of these moments where you're like, okay, I have to shoot, and everything was very clear for me. No, I think it's something I would really like to win. I can totally understand that everybody wants to beat us.
Ball across to Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again.
Yes, Van Dijvenberg are the champions of Europe. For something here, she has a game. Surprise the keeper. What a comeback!
And then it is time to talk handball again and to talk Easter again, because it finally is here. Happy Easter, everyone, from my side, Bengt, Kunkel, and today, of course, the two eggs that are being laid into my nest are my two co-hosts here with me. On one hand side, we have the Barca legend, Víctor. Tomàs, how's it going?
What's up? Everything good, everything good. Enjoying my Easter holidays. I'm apologizing before the episode for my internet connection. You can see me uglier than normal, but yeah, me and Martin here, we are all together in the so yeah, sorry for my internet connection. I might be coming and going today.
Yeah, I feel a little bit excluded right here, because the two of you are obviously sitting in one room. You have so many pictures of Martin on your wall. No, I'm just joking, because he's the one sitting on the left-hand side. Martin Vilstrup, how are you?
I'm good, and actually super honored to be on the walls of in the home of Víctor Tomàs. Also, it's not that many that gets to. I know, I can see why he picked one of the big animals. It's a compliment, and I'm taking it. I'm enjoying the Easter. It's nice to have some days off, and the weather is okay in Denmark, so I'm having some long walks with my dog and a little bit of running. So everything's good from my side.
Actually, what are the Easter traditions in Denmark?
It's like, can you call it an Easter lunch, where you meet up with family and friends, and then you have something. Yeah, in Germany you would probably mix it up with something else called a snaps. It's basically shots, which you are drinking. Yeah, but you're drinking it with some fish, eating it and drinking that one with the fish, and yeah, it's traditional Easter lunch, and then people take it to the next level. After the lunch, they go to the city and have a good time. Some just stop after that and go home and enjoy the Easter. I think that's some of the traditions.
So getting into good mood together with the people that you like. It could be worse. It could be worse. But that almost sounds like Víctor's weekend right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Here we also have these traditions. Is quite big. The Easter in Spain, it's a religious country, especially in the south of Spain, I would say. And yesterday people was gathering at the streets on these demonstrations, and religious symbols and virgins and God was just walking through the streets, and people is looking at them. And then for me, I'm not a religious person. For me, the most beautiful day on Easter here in Spain, it's next Monday. It's where the godfathers they give their gifts to the kids, and we are giving big chocolate cakes to the kids on Monday.
That sounds quite nice.
And the kids are expecting it so much.
yeah, it's it almost sounds like the second Christmas there in Spain, but just
something like that,
with a little more religious party on the streets, if you could summarize it like that. But that sounds cool. In Germany we do have the so-called Easter bunny, and the Easter bunny is running around and is hiding eggs, and the kids are searching the eggs
here as well.
Everywhere. That's good. That's good. Some traditions are to be kept there, and I like it a lot. But before we lose ourselves in the Easter talk, we have a lot to do today, because in just about 15 minutes we have Lois Abbingh joining us, and there will be some intense talks with her because of what happens with Vipers this year. But prior to that, I would say let's kick it off today a little differently and start it here competitively, because because I want to get a clinch in between the two of you that might give us a good interviewing atmosphere. So let's keep it quick here and start the episode with a game of Who Am I? Whoever guesses first might actually get the point or lose the point. If you get it right, you get it. If you get it wrong, the other one gets the point. And that's where we are starting. Who am I? I think it's round number 6. Like Taylor Swift sang, I am feeling 22, but I'm feeling 22 since 2018. I'm wondering here. You won't get it with that one, so I'll give you the next one. I won the Machine Seeker EHF Champions League twice. I captain my country. I never played the Euro. All right, none of you gets it yet. The next one might be a good one.
I won the Machine Seeker twice. I captained my country, and I never played the Euro.
Yes, you did get these hints. I swapped paella for langos, but then went back to paella.
Can you repeat this one?
I swapped paella for langos, but then I swapped back to paella.
For langos?
Mm-hmm. I'm a Spanish champion, Hungarian champion, and Brazilian champion.
No.
But she was 22 in 2018. Okay.
That's not what I said. I said, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22, and that's since 2018. All right, I'll give you the next hint. It's been 12 years now that I've been playing in Europe.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Go ahead, Víctor, Tomàs, for the solution.
I think it's Thiago Petrus.
I was vice champion in Spain with La Rioja twice. I'm Europe's best defender in 2023. Lenny Kravitz called. He wants his hair back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thiago Petrus. Good one there.
And I'm leading now 4-2. Yes.
Martin, what do you have to say in your defense?
I didn't have Thiago in mind. To be honest, I was thinking about female players. So, I didn't even think about
then
this
go
one.
ahead and name me one player, one female player that won the Machine Seeker EHF Champions.
Yes, that was the big detail. The Machine Seeker is the sponsor only for the men. The Machine Seeker.
Yeah, that's true. True. I didn't think about that. I was thinking like, but when you said the one Amorin or who, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. I didn't pay attention with the Machine Seeker. You got me the first one here in details. Otherwise, I actually think that I paid attention. But this one, I have to take on myself. But yeah.
And
I don't know if I came up with Thiago Petrus. I don't know if I came up with his name anyway.
The first hint here, actually, I'm feeling 22 since 2018. It's his jersey number. And he plays at Barca since 2018. And where's the number 22? That's where this hint is coming from.
I thought he was 28 years old.
Yeah, well,
like that.
That wasn't it. But then let's go away from yet another victory.
I actually had a great
Víctor
Easter until now. I had a great Easter until now. So yeah.
You can keep saying excuses, Martin. No problem. It was.
It was nice to meet you guys.
Never mess around with a legend. But let's switch it over here to some topics that Martin apparently knows a little more about. The EHF Champions League Women. We are just behind the playoffs. The playoffs are finished, and we know our quarterfinalists. And let's start it off with the last guest that we talked to this competition. Bietigheim is the first German quarterfinalist since the EHF Champions League Women is being played in this format. What's in it for the Germans this season, Martin?
Well, first of all, I want to say that none of us predicted Bietigheim to make it through against ECAST, and I have to say I'm surprised. They coming out of the first leg with a 2-goal win, and then I actually also watched the second one. They were leading with 5 at halftime, and I was like, okay, ECAST got to do something. In the end, they managed to make it a little bit of a closer game, but Bietigheim was, for me, totally in control. The only difference for ECAST is that probably they came to good chances in the second game, but Moreschi in goal, also player of the match. She managed to have 16 saves. Bietigheim, I think they surprised a lot of people by winning against ECAST because they have been I think ECAST got a wild card for the Champions League this season, and they've been doing really well. Now they're up against Odense. It's in some way the nemesis, the one they cannot beat. But they can lower their shoulders now. As you said, the first team from Germany in quarterfinals, they're playing. They're 2 games away from a Final Four. If somebody said to me before the season that Bietigheim would be in a position where they can play the EHF Final Four, I would say they're a little bit crazy, but shout out to Bietigheim. I think it was well deserved over the 2 games. Also, for what I saw. One player we also don't speak that much about is probably Kelly Dolpher. I think she's a great defensive player. Also been for the national team. Maybe Lois Abbingh can say more about that when she joins. But also offensively, she's been contributing the last previous years. She probably hadn't the best game in terms of percentage against ECAST, but I think it's a surprise for everyone.
You know me, guys, that I don't like to brag that much, but I want you guys to remember somebody in this podcast said that Moreschi was going to be a key player on that playoff.
Yeah. You did, and
just saying.
You can take
I
that.
want to know if he is he bragging about the prediction with Brest as well, making it through against FTC.
No, that one I'm not bragging.
We will get there. We will get there in a bit, boys. Keep the shy talking for when it's on the row here. But Martin, you actually already mentioned it. Now Odense is the next opponent for Bietigheim, and Víctor, how are you gonna face a team that you have lost to so many times throughout the past year, or the past years, and they put you on a negative record? So is that a fact that is in your mind before a game like that?
I don't know exactly the expression in English, but I think you're going to understand me. This is a knife with a double shade, I think it's called, because for Bietigheim, I think that mentally they have no pressure now, because after all the games they have played against Odense, they know it's a very, very good team, and the way the games went against them, it was so bad for Bietigheim. So for them, it's no pressure at all. And mentally, I think they will be much more free than Odense to play these quarterfinals. I think that for Odense, it can be also a little bit dangerous, because they might go into a little bit of too much confidence, before facing this playoff. Of course, Odense is a clear favorite in my opinion, but I think these mental games can be maybe better for Bietigheim, because in my opinion they have nothing to lose in these quarterfinals.
Yeah, and the fact that you can play with nothing to lose, that you can play freely with that, FTC showed what's in it with that, because they went to Brest. They never won against Brest. They lost the first leg with 2 goals. They lost it with 25-23, and then they go to France, and then they smash Brest off the court. It's just really insane how they managed to get back from that first leg. Martin, what's your opinion on that? A fact like that you never won in Brest. Does it intimidate you, or does it motivate you in the position of FTC ahead of the game?
I think I learned my lesson with FTC is that you're never gonna rule out FTC because they won against Esbjerg in the EHF Final Four last year in the semifinal. They lost against Metz with 6 goals at home, then won with 7 in France. Now they did not the same with Brest, but they lost with 2 goals at home and then went to France again and won it. And normally you would say that the home advantage is a thing, but to me, FTC, it's pretty important for them that the starting lineup delivers on top level. You know, it's Marlenstein, it's Lekic, Bölk, Svijic, Kloiber, and now I said a couple of players. I also maybe forgot a couple, but you know, those players, they need to deliver for FTC to be at the top, if you ask me, and they did in this game. I'm a little bit surprised because when they lost the first one, I think, okay, did I underestimate the quality of Brest? But FTC, they're just a team you're never going to rule out, you know. And now they're in a position where they're going to play against Esbjerg. And we know, as I said, what happened last time. Although I think Esbjerg looks very, very strong. They are all beaten in the Danish league. They haven't lost a point.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about crucial goalkeeper performances, we had Kinga Janorik saving 14 shots in total, 11 of them in the second half. That's a clutch player. Yeah. So that is really a goalkeeping performance that's is being stepped up just when it's needed, and that puts FTC into a position where I would say none of us would have seen them after the first 5-6 weeks into the EHF Champions League Women. Are we going to see another FTC miracle?
No, I have to be honest with what I really think. I thought that FTC was going to lose against Brest, and now I think that Esbjerg is better, especially in a double game. But as Martin said, he learned his lesson with FTC, but still I'm gonna go with Esbjerg because I think it's a Final Four team. Esbjerg, they have shown that for the last 3 seasons, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Esbjerg. I don't have any more reasons.
If it has to make sense also with Esbjerg, you know, they're unbeaten in the Danish league. They haven't lost a point. I also think they ruled out ECAST in the cup, and they won against Odense 2 times, ECAST 3 times. And if we're speaking about those teams being favorites against, you know, the other Bickenheim when they play against them, I think it's fair to say that Esbjerg will also be the favorites against FTC. And I know for sure that Esbjerg, their goal is also to get very far in the Champions League after what happened the last couple of seasons where, you know, in some way they kind of disappointed in the semifinal, didn't, live up to the expectations. So, and also to me, they have the world's greatest handball player, Henny Reistad, and Nora Mørk is also performing. So, let's see. Esbjerg is the favorites to me without a doubt, but never rule out FTC is my lesson.
Yeah, in American football, you would say never bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs, and FTC would say right now never bet against FTC in the playoffs. So they are screwing on their next miracle here, and I am taking the difficult call here, but I am gonna go with FTC. I think that FTC is gonna go through to the semifinals yet again. And
I love it, Bengt.
One person who might like that call either, because as we just talked about Angela Malestein and her ginormous performance in the second playoff round, is the one that we are going to introduce right now, right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Lois Abbingh, nice to see you. Nice to have you around. How's it going?
Hey, thank you. It's fine. I'm finally home after some busy weeks, so time for some days off.
That is great. That sounds great. And actually, as we have just been talking about a great performance by Angela Malestein, we don't want to take anything off of your performance in the playoffs here, because we are going to start it off right here with that situation. It's minute 59 and 54 seconds on the clock. Vipers are just about to go into the overtime against Schaeffler. Ball goes into your hand. What goes through your mind in those seconds, in those moments?
Yeah, I think, of course, we had the timeout before, and then you kind of visualize, okay, what can happen. And I think we talked about Anna going in a hard push and Yamina hopefully going in the middle. And then I got the ball in the hand, and I think it was just one of these moments where you're like, okay, I have to shoot. And everything was very clear for me that I had to shoot in that moment. And yeah, then thank God it went in. But yeah, this is I don't know, this is something I think really hard to explain, these moments where you are just seeing everything really clear and be like, okay, now it has to happen somehow.
So yeah, to be put into that situation, you actually had to go through a lot in that game, because after having won the first leg by only 1 goal, you were down at halftime by 5 goals. It was 10-15. How was the atmosphere in the locker room?
I think the atmosphere is really bad. I think we really, I think the first game we kind of knew it was hard to play there, and it was an okay game. But I think the first half at home we really played like really bad. So I think everybody really felt like, okay, this is not something that we can continue with, and we really need to do something different now in the second half. And yeah, I think also in this moment you know that this is, like you say, the crunch time, so you have to do everything that you can, and then it just goes on fighting spirit. And it wasn't probably the best handball we showed, but there it was just fighting and emotions and trying to come back into the game.
Yeah, hello Lois, it's a pleasure to have you here with us. A world-class player like you, it's always nice to speak with you. I would like to ask you, now that you will play quarterfinals against Györ, and that this season it has been quite a roller coaster for Vipers for many different reasons. How would you define the performance of the team through everything that the team has been going through during this Champions League season?
Yeah, I think it really is. It's really up and down. I can really feel that we somehow still not have found, the right way that we have to make it work. Like also not in these last games. I think we have really good moments and then really bad moments. So I feel this has been also in the first part of the season, and then we kind of found our rhythm a little bit towards the championship, and then the break comes, of course, and then when we came back, yeah, it was some very difficult problems in the club, which of course also, even though you don't want to, it's in the back of your head with the financial problems. And then we just tried to find the way back up. Yeah, but I feel like we are trying really hard, and it's not about the fighting, but somehow we still miss some things. But then on the other hand, we are through to the quarterfinals. So yeah, this is also the crazy thing about sports. And then you know that you still have these important games against Györ, that it can happen.
So actually, would you say that the sports performance, it was like a little bit the club situation, a little bit of a roller coaster, that you have been playing well and then not that well, but finally now you are in a good position? Well, I would say that maybe you are playing against the favorite to win the competition, but yeah, all the playoffs has to be played, but that now you're in a good moment, in a good position to face this playoff.
Yeah, I think so. I think also it's my first season in Vipers, and I haven't been there when they won 3 times in a row, but this also comes of course with a lot of pressure, and I can totally understand that everybody wants to beat us. And we also have the feeling, for example, in these games, that against Debrecen we were the clear favorites, and then you have to show it, and that's maybe not always easy. So I really hope that now against Györ, maybe for the first time we will not be favorites, and it will maybe make us play better.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually one good topic here, because for many they are the favorites of the title, not just for Víctor, Tomàs here. How are you going to prepare for that matchup?
I think that's like for me, it's really fun to play. Like you say, it's always fun to play against favorites. So I understand that this is a very important moment for us. But I feel that we have some good time after the break to prepare. I think the Norwegian League, we are kind of like done in that moment. So we have really good time, and I think there have a lot of Norwegian players. So it will be a really battle between, I think, teams who know each other quite well. So we have to be surprising in some ways.
I also wanted to ask you, first of all, also nice to have you, Lois. To me, also, Vipers versus Györ is to me, a little bit class of the Titans. You know, Györ, do you feel like Györ has more pressure on them since they maybe are the favorites now, and they also lost the Hungarian Cup to FTC? And if they wanted to be successful, then for them, the big goal every season is to win the Champions League.
Yes, I think that's really true. I think this is always on them. I remember this. I don't know if there was any year that Györ was not a favorite of winning the Champions League since I'm playing. So, of course, every time you have a team where you'll be like, oh, maybe they can beat them this year, or maybe they can. And this, of course, also comes with a lot of pressure for them. And I also still think that they are big favorites to win the title. But yeah, also they struggle somehow in the last months, of course, with some results. So probably a little bit in the same way as we do by playing. But for them, it's only probably one prize left to play for. So this is a really big pressure, and I hope it can be a small advantage for us.
And also going back, Bengt, he mentioned earlier, the last seconds against depression. But if I also recall, it was in 2019, there was a penalty against Spain, which you also took into your hands. Do you like to be in these kind of situations, where the game has to be decided?
I don't know if I like it, but I feel like
Sorry,
I
Víctor.
do it a lot.
I hate these two guys,
Why?
You're always teasing me with Spain's defeats, always.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lois, sorry.
Of course, it's it's something that I been put in many times, and then of course when you have this when it is successful, then you will also be picked out the next time. But I think it's something I had in the national team for a long time, and apparently I can keep it cool in some moments, and then I'm also like, okay, I have no problem with taking the responsibility. I don't feel like I have to do it, but if it's been taken on me, then I have no problem to do it.
Do you think it's something that you can... Oh, sorry, Víctor, just the last one. Do you think it's something that you can train, Lois? Because to me, it's if you would say to every other normal person, it's just a penalty shot. So maybe it's more about not overthinking it and controlling your nerves when it comes to, taking this shot than think about, where did I shoot the last time? Where went the goalkeeper at the last penalty shot? Do you think you can, in some way train or these kind of situations? Because in a World Cup final, it's something special.
Yeah, it is. But I think in the way that I trained it was by doing it, because I also failed sometimes, it's more. I also remember my first Olympics, and then it was maybe not a big thing because we played equal and there was also a penalty and I had the chance to score the winning one and I missed. But that was just a group phase game and it had no meaning for us. But this, I thought about it like, I learned from that one when I took the penalty in 2019 that I should not be distracted by anything and just go to the 7 meter, for example, and just do what you always do. So I think I trained, at least in that way, some situations where I felt like, okay, if I just do what I always do and try not to think about the result of it, then it's the best and you only see the goal.
Yeah, I just wanted to go a little bit more to speak about your career. You have been in the top level for so long time now in the national team, but also you have been a player that you have moved around a lot. You have been in different leagues. You have been in Romania, you have been in France, you've been in Denmark, now you're in Norway. How all these experiences have shaped you as a player and as a person? What, was something that you needed to do because you didn't feel good in the country, in the team, to move again? Or what was the reason? Because you have been an important player in every team that you have played. And I'm sure that you had a lot of new agreements to renew your contracts on your table, but you still decided to go. So
I think, like, of course, when I started in Germany, where I knew I was ready for a next step. And then when I played in Romania, we all know that there were financial problems, so I had no other option than to go. And then I also could feel at that time like, okay, I need something after the whole chaos in Romania to be a little bit more a stable climate. So then I went for Paris, which had also big ambitions. And then after just 2 years that we could feel like, okay, it's not really making the next step. And I could really feel as a player, I wanted to make this next step and be in this top 4 Champions League teams. And then I went to Russia, and there actually everything was like handball-wise, it was perfect for me. And we played the Final Four, and it was a big dream coming true. But then like personal life, it's really far away in Russia. So this was also really hard for me and my family to not almost see each other. So then you start to be like, okay, I have to find the way where I have everything. And I think this is hard to find in women's handball, unfortunately, where you I think now, of course, with Esbjerg also going to Final Four and Vipers winning the last 3 years, it's so nice that also the Scandinavian countries are coming back again in the Final Four. But I think, that's only since a few years. But for me, I can feel it's nice to be close to home and still do what you love the most.
And I mean, as soon as you turned 18 years old, you already went away from home. So you left Netherlands and went over to Germany. I mean, Oldenburg, it isn't too far away from Groningen, where you were born there. But still, how big of a step was that for you to actually take the first move away from your home country?
Yeah, I think this was the perfect step for me because, like you say, it was just 1.5 hours maybe, so I could really go back and forth and be with family, and my parents could come over when you need something, and when you're only 18, it's really nice. And also, I think my trainer, he was really good there to get me going into this handball life, so that was really important for me. So I think this was the perfect first 4 years of my professional career. So and then I could also really feel like, okay, now I'm ready to do something a bit farther away from home, a different culture. And of course, my parents were a little bit like, when they said I go to Romania, they were like, okay, that will be a different world for you and different culture. But I really wanted to try it.
And after everything that you experienced and in all of those corners in the world already, where did you enjoy living the most?
Can you guess when we talk about living?
Talking about living, I would almost guess that home is always the most beautiful place, and that you would always choose the probably the Dutch coast, somewhere in the close to Amsterdam. But as you have been in Denmark,
there's no Eiffel Tower here next to me in 500 meters. So.
all right, that's a good hint there. So you would always go back to Paris, and maybe even after your career.
Or not probably to live there, but I think Paris, of course, was a really nice city to live, and also maybe have this, of course, have the handball life, but also, living in a big city, and that's probably a dream coming true. So, I have to say that Paris was the best place to live.
But
it's so bad that Barcelona doesn't have a women team. Huh?
No, I've been waiting for this for years. But
a lot of people is telling that to me, but I have nothing to do. I would love to have a women team under the Barca jersey. That would be amazing, I think.
And not an Eiffel Tower either.
No, but they have other things.
But the Eiffel Tower actually is a good topic, because that is something that you might be looking at in summer this year. So the Olympic qualifications are just coming up at the mid of April. How would you rate your group there?
Yeah, I think it's maybe like, if you see the results from the last championship, it looks easy for us, but I don't feel it's easy. I think like we are in a strong group with Czech and Spain, and of course Argentina also. So I'm looking forward. I'm really looking forward to it, but I know it's going to be hard. So I don't. A lot of people also, when I talk with my teammates from Spain, they are like, "Yeah, but you beat us maybe with a lot of goals." But I know in this kind of tournament it's something different also, and we really have to be ready there.
we like to cry sometimes, but then we fight like bulls, you know.
Exactly. I know this, so I will not take it.
Okay.
You're living in Norway now, Lois. How do you cope with the cold in Norway and all the snow compared to when you said that it was the best living was in Paris, probably?
Yeah, this is of course I've been used to Denmark a bit, but I feel Norway is even more dark sometimes. So yeah, it is a long winter. It has been a really long winter for us, and it's still not over. But I'm really happy. I'm going to Portugal and Spain next week, so I can take in some sun.
That's for sure.
Portugal and Spain.
So yeah, go ahead, Martin. All good.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Bengt.
If we're just keeping it at the Dutch national team, you're not just looking at potentially the Olympics this summer. You do have the Euro coming up this winter as well, where you guys are already qualified for. And now on club level, you are still in all of the big competitions. When you are like at the 31st of December 2023 and you look at your schedule and see all those things coming up next year, do you even need New Year's resolutions?
No, definitely not. Just surviving.
What is the biggest goal that you've been looking to forward to this year?
The biggest goal. I think the biggest goal, when you would say 31st of December 23, of course, is the Olympics. This I feel is always a major thing for a handball player. So, but then of course you also have the goal when you move to a club who has won 3-time Champions League, that you also have this as a goal. So this also, of course, definitely is a goal. But I think in this year, like you say, I almost have no time to think about the goal so much, since you're just going from one qualification to another. So I just take it step by step, and then I hope in 31st of December of 24, I can look back on a really good summer.
And on a really good winter there maybe as well, because the Euros are coming, and if we look into your trophy cabinet, that is a trophy that is still missing there. Well, is that something that you would want to win?
No, I think it's something I would really like to win. I think winning the World Championship was such a big thing, and I think it's it's especially for a small country, it was something so big to win there, and I think everybody of us, we all realized that really well, and it was unfortunately the last medal we won, so I feel it's really time to win something again with the national team.
But I mean, all of these medals and successes, sorry Victor, just a second, came after that one big clash where Netherlands suddenly became good. It was somewhere around 2014, 2015, where you became second in the World Cup and did have some more successes. What was it that Netherlands did right around that time?
Yeah, I think we had a lot of young, or not too young, but quite young girls who were already playing in some big clubs, and I think there it really came together in the right way. I think we had a really good mix of players, and I think what made this group so special, I think, is that we were really open and honest to say everything to each other, and we didn't need to be friends, but when we went on the court, we just had one goal, and that was to win the matches. And I think this was something really special that I experienced there. But that took also, of course, years. We have been in the academy in Holland when we were 15, 16 together. So I think also there you build up this, like friendships, some friendships, but also just that you know how you are as a person. And this all just came together, I think, in these years.
Victor, sorry I interrupted you there.
No problem. Now that we are talking about national team, I actually forgot that game that you win against Spain in the final, the World Championship. But going back to that game again, would you say that was the peak in your handball career? And would you say that this victory has made Holland as a country to work better towards handball, to make the younger generations go up and giving the national team good players to still have this level?
In one way, I would say yes, but on the other hand, I was also hoping it would maybe make handball more popular than it did. I think also if you would see the timing of us winning in 2019 and COVID came in March 2020 was the worst, I think, what could happen for us. Because I remember we were supposed to have also a game against Spain in Holland for a qualification, and it was supposed to be around 10,000 people coming, and everything got cancelled. And so I think it was really sad that it was in this timing, because I think we could have won more, like on all topics, we could have gained more from this success, I think, than we actually did. So of course it's really nice, and it does help like to make handball more popular, especially under girls. But yeah, we kind of missed some opportunities there, I think.
Okay. And would you say that was the peak of your career, or the peak of your career is yet to come?
Yet to come. I always have to believe that it's yet to come. No, of course it was. I have to be honest that it was a really good year. I think, especially, the whole season. I think with Rostov we played the final of the Champions League in that year, and we won the gold. So I think it was like, my career-wise, it was really one of the best in my life. But yeah, I can also feel when you get older, it's maybe you play different. You still maybe have the same goals, but you can also be more satisfied with other things than maybe only winning. So the best is yet to come.
Nice.
And,
I hope.
talking about the best moments in your career and the best moments in your life, I always enjoy when I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed and then I see a video of you celebrating a victory, and after the match, either when you win there is someone to cheer with you, or when you don't win there is someone to cheer you up. That is somewhere around since 1.5 years, correct me if I'm wrong there, but what changed for you as a player ever since you became a mother?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot. I think I really, now when I go away for example, next week, 1.5 week, you really feel like you really have to make something, because you're leaving something at home also. So it's another kind of motivation that you want to be the best, I think, version of yourself. Because I don't want to be away for 1.5 week and then regret that I didn't give it my all, for example, or something like that. And in the other end, it also makes you, be a little bit more like, okay, if we lose a game, it's really bad, but then I come home to a smiling boy, and you kind of forget everything. So all the cliches there are true, but I think it makes you a better person, and then therefore also a better player.
Going into this topic, when I had my first son, I still was playing. I would like to know, how do you organize yourself at home at nights before games with your husband and the little boy? How are you organizing yourself as a family when you have to practice, when you have games and everything?
I'm really lucky. I have a really good husband. So when, like most of the times, for example, he sleeps very good. So then we're lucky. But I had also some nights where, of course, he was like not wanting to sleep, and then most of the time he goes out so I can have my sleep. So, but this, I think, it's impossible to perform on a high level if you don't have this good balance at home, because you cannot stay awake all night and then play the quarterfinal of the Champions League, I think. So it's it has to be good, and it has to work. But it is, of course, a big challenge. But then when he goes for a nap in the day, then I just go with him, and then I have my energy back also.
Okay.
And I mean, it does seem to run well for you guys, because as we just said, you are still in all of the big competitions. You are in the quarterfinal of the EHF Champions League Women. You are looking forward to qualify for the Olympics this summer, and you're playing a Euro in winter. So there are big things to come for Lois Abbingh.
Yes.
That's where we wish you the best of luck for everything that you're aiming for this season, that all your hopes and dreams may come true.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we enjoyed
luck.
talking to you a lot, and then good luck for the rest of the
was
season.
nice. Yeah, thank you guys.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Lycka till.
Lycka till. Tusen tack.
Oh.
Yet another great guest and another great human being. We're on a limited time, that's why we needed to cut it here. But still, another big thank you to Lois Abbingh for joining us here. She was great talks, and it's always great to see how it was like that 2 weeks ago when we talked with Mikola Bielik here as well. People always get so humble when they talk about their families.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, they are just the normal human beings, and as everyone else, having kids, having a family, and being reasonably young, you get emotional and you get humble when you speak about your kids. So I wouldn't say it's something special about them.
Yeah, no.
It's probably also because handball used to be the most important thing, and now something else came up that's much more important than handball. And I think that's about. I just hope that Lois puts the ball in the left hand of her boy, because we all know that left-handed players has it much easier than right-handed.
And that is true. That is true. But now we are looking at a quarterfinal.
But 1 meter and a half left-handed players. That's not easy, yeah? 1 meter and a half high. That's not easy. I can tell you.
Víctor talks about it. Talks out of experience. But let's keep it here.
Sorry, Bengt. Just let me tease Martin a little bit. What it's really, I would say, I would worry a lot if I would be 1 meter 95 high and left-handed, and I still don't
Not
make
being
it.
able to make it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Martin.
Then you know for sure that you're not talented.
Mic drop.
No mic drop yet, because we still have at least the prediction to give who's favorites in between Vipers and Györ, because Lois actually didn't want to take the favorites role. Martin, what's your opinion?
Well, we said it earlier. To me, on the women's side, Györ are the biggest team in the world. Although Vipers won it 3 times in a row, I would say economically and the history of the club, and also having in mind they're second in the Hungarian league and they lost the cup against FTC. I think that I need to say that Györ are the favorites, but it's also class of the Titans, so I expect a close game. But to me, Györ are the favorites, and if they don't succeed on this one, they also just fired the coach and assistant coach, bringing a new one in. There's a lot of things going on, and if they need the victory. They need to be in the EHF Final Four. Otherwise, I would actually go so far to say it's a huge disappointment.
Victor, agree?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that Györ are the favorites. No doubt, but on this one, I'm gonna go with the underdogs.
Interesting. That is interesting to see. I mean, we can have a look at all those quarterfinal matchups a little later on, because it's still some time to pass by before the games are being played. But just for the completion, we still have one playoff matchup that we haven't been talking about, but it was the clearest of all of them. It was a Chesame against Krim. Chesame won it twice by 30-24. It was a copy-paste game there. My hot take didn't go didn't go as planned. As I said, that I think Jovanka Radicevic was gonna score more than Kristina Neagu, but Kristina proved me wrong there, and that's why I'm giving a new hot take. Kristina Neagu will overtake Jovanka Radicevic in the all-time top scorer list this season. Right now,
and how many goals is she missing out?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, Christina Neagu should be at, I don't know the exact numbers, but she's 24 goals behind. And if everything
24.
goes as planned, then she has 4 more games to play. And
I have to say that maybe next season.
maybe next season, yeah, well, but I do believe that it will still happen this year. So Neagu proceeds. She's now 24 goals behind Jovanka Radicevic. That will be my hot take for the rest of the season for Christina Neagu.
But by saying that, you also almost say that they will knock out Metz, or you're saying that she will score 24 goals in 2 games versus Metz?
Yeah, she will score 24 goals in the first leg. No, obviously not. But yeah, I am giving my prediction that Chesame is going to go through, and we are going to see them in the Final Four here. But, well, we'll see. And just like I said, there's a lot of handball to be played, and... we got Friday 12:34 in the morning right now, and that's where I would say let's enjoy Easter. Or have you got other topics to talk about, boys?
Don't we have to play Who Am I? No, we did it already. Sorry, I just
who won? Can you remind me again who won that game?
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay. The name was a guy from Barcelona, one of the French, How can you not come up with it? Come on.
Well, I mean...
I'm just curious about your hot take there, because that probably means that if Vipers will go through, then we'll see a EHF Final Four without Györ and Metz. But it's an exciting episode we have to speak about when that comes up. And also saying that FTC, we can never rule them out. So we will see a EHF Final Four with FTC, Bickenheim, Chess and Bucharesti, and Vipers.
We will see. That would be something here. But until then, as we like to say here in Cologne and Düsseldorf, there's a lot of water running down the Rhine until we will see about that. So until then, let's keep it up, boys. Enjoy Easter. Same do you out there. Let's hope you guys had yourselves a happy Easter. And until then, I'd say let's hear each other again next week when it's time to talk handball again.
Ball across to Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again.